Carl here. I hope you're doing well. I want to do a video on setting boundaries and how many people are really struggling to say no to other people and putting their own needs first. And it is very difficult. It's very difficult to say no to people, and there's different reasons why people struggle with it. Obviously, the one example is fear, and this is something I work a lot with my clients to explore their past experiences around saying no to somebody. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, or somebody in school, or a teacher, or anybody who reacted really badly to you saying no to them. And in most cases, they react with some kind of anger, whether it's direct anger, shouting, or passive aggressive anger, which is just ignoring you. And again, those experiences, they stay with us, they get lodged in our brain. And then later on in life, as we get adults and a similar situation occurs, it triggers all these feelings. It could be anxiety, it could be fear, it could be frustration, it could be your own anger. And all of a sudden, to avoid feeling the way we do, we just say yes, we give in. And it's quite destructive. And even when we give in and we do what we don't want to do, we walk away feeling more frustrated and angry, and it creates this cycle. The second thing I look at is guilt, and again, this is something I see a lot with people where they really don't want to do the things that they're being asked to do, but they feel so much guilt around saying no that they just end up saying yes again. And I really explore the guilt and where it comes from, and in most cases it's some kind of self-imposed rule or standard which really doesn't fit who they are, but it may have inherited. It could be something that maybe a standard that was enforced on them by their parents. I spoke to a farmer quite recently who's trying to reduce his workload. He's working too many hours and he wants to spend more time with his family, but he says he feels guilty doing that. So we did a bit of work, and I realised that his father had worked crazy hours, and he did it all his life, and the guy that I was working with really imposed that rule on himself, and he wasn't meeting up to the standard that he felt his father would have expected of him, and as a result it was a huge amount of guilt. But again, we start to work through that and process and work on his own self-esteem and understand the importance of prioritising himself for his family. If he can't even do it for himself, find a healthy reason to do that, and it's his family, because his family needs him, they love him, and they need to see him healthy and happy. It's not always about working and earning money. So again, a lot of it is taking risks, and now as an adult we have to learn to take risks, especially if we've had negative experiences at childhood. So it's all about just testing the waters and saying no. And I wouldn't encourage people just to go out and say no to every situation that you come across, but start small. Start with people in your family who you're secure with, who you know will react well to saying no, and start building up to bigger situations in life. And again, it's very much about testing the waters and reflecting on how people react, because we need to hold on to the positive memories and let go of those negative experiences. And it is about challenging those negative experiences. They have no place in our life now. And again, even if somebody reacts angrily or in a negative way to you now when you say no, you start to question the relationship. Do you need that person in your life? Were they wrong? Were you right to put yourself first? And I find personally that the more I do establish boundaries in my own circle, the more they respect me. Now, that isn't always the case. You will always meet negative people who won't appreciate you, who will be challenged or threatened by you establishing your own boundaries, but you still have to do it. It's so important. So say no. Learn to say no. If it feels bad, if you're fearful of doing it, then you probably really need to do it. If you're feeling guilty about it, feelings aren't facts. Question the guilt. Ask, where does it come from? Do you need to feel guilty? And who's more important? And you really, again, it's prioritising your own self-esteem and your relationship with other people. And again, if you can't say no for you, maybe find other reasons for saying no. And again, to me, I find family is one of the most important ones, because your family needs you. So that's it, guys. Thanks a million. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.